It's alive.
I think so. Why am I not getting the... Whoa. Whoa, hold on 1 second. We can no longer put the comments on screen again.
Oh. They stopped doing that.
Why can I not do that? This is a travesty. StreamYard.
I mean, to be fair, I know that it was a feature at one point that they were like testing out, but it seems really weird to give it to us and then get rid of it.
Wait, and originally it was beta, and then it left beta and had all the other features. So why isn't it? It's... I don't know. I don't know where it went. I wonder if it's just a weird thing with this stream. Or why it's gone away. I don't know. Okay. Hello, people.
Hi, Bev.
Hi, Bev. Hi, Tinquish. Hi, Caleb. Hi,
We were
Michelle.
just talking about you.
I know, we were just talking about it. Wait, Michelle, are the sad Michelle noises because of the no comments on screen thing? I assume so, but, you know.
Oh, because we're moving beyond Zuchette sausages and death.
Yeah, it is quite sad. It is quite sad indeed. But that is not because the yep. Yep. It's a hard life, honestly. It's a very hard life. I don't know why this is happening. I don't want to mess around the settings too much because we're literally live, but I didn't notice it until I was like...
Can you still do like the highlighting of comments on screen?
Yeah, I can still do that. We are audible.
Audible.
Wonderful of us. Okay. So it's Monday, or we wouldn't be here.
Well, you never know.
That's true. It could be like a weird week. Although, honestly, if we're ever here on a day that's not Monday, I'll probably still tell you all it's Monday because that's what we're working with. But I suppose we should probably start with my homework assignment.
Yes.
And the extra credit that I did.
Oh, you did extra credit?
I did. Okay, so last time, if I can find it, we were looking at Asha, the word for death. Asha. Yeah. And trying to figure out how we wanted to handle this. What would you call that?
Mess.
Yeah, mess. If we wanted to handle the fact that if you see here in the nominative, the plural just goes back to Asha. So beforehand, or that's with us adding the duplication. So if we add the duplication everywhere, it comes up normal, but then in the cases where we don't need the duplication, there is duplication, right? So the thing that I was supposed to decide is, do I want to keep that or do something different like suppletion, do something like custom shenanigans? And I thought about it. And I decided that we should just keep the duplication. Just continue on the path we started with. I think that's the right choice. It does look a little weird here, but it grew on me the more I thought of it as like a weird, like, oh, for some words, they'll just be like, you know, a little bit spicy. I don't know. I think it'll be fun. Hello, Amanda. So yes, that was the homework portion. Do I get an A, Jake?
You get a reduplicated A, a double A.
Wow. I love it. Okay. And then for extra credit, because originally I was going to try to do all the, like, start adding things with the, like, doing the Lexergy and everything myself. But I started doing that because I wasn't sure if we were going to change stuff at first. I'm like, I don't know if I want to start doing a bunch of stuff and we're going to change it. So I did one and I documented it. so that you can look at it and tell me if I did it correctly,
Ooh.
because I'm not sure. But I
Ah,
did.
I can see it.
Yes, I did. I also didn't get I don't think this is the proper IPA. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like a Y or something. I don't know. But Juvio or something like that. Juvio. I don't know. Which came
So,
from Jubio, which was storm.
mhm. Why can't I see this? Anyway, it's because it's under Pillar World. Yeah, I was looking for Maddie, and I was like, "Where is Maddie?" Okay,
Yeah.
so you've put a question mark next to this, but I assume this is what we have in the protoform. So
Correct.
Gubiho is what is in the what do you call it? In the proto language side of things.
Yes.
So when one thing that you can do is I assume that you have the same file as me, but when it comes out, I'll just put a picture in for now.
Okay. Okay.
Not as loud. The results will come out looking something like this. Do you see that as well? Or do you not get this middle stage?
I must not have clicked the right button to show that.
Well, it's not a button, it's
Oh,
part of the code, but it's possible that
no. Because
code
I
that
directly copied and pasted what I got out.
Mhm.
So this is like the whole thing I got out. Unless I was like in the wrong view or like.
No, I'm gonna double check the last file I sent you.
Okay.
Because I might be using I I can see that there was
Languages of Pill World. Where does it say
that might just be Miles being Miles,
that? That is what I came to as well, because I was like, did I have it like typoed wrong or cut off somewhere? But I don't see it.
And there's also the languages of Pillow World that they like to give us.
That's true. That's true.
So when I use the document that I've most recently sent to you, and it
Mm,
may just be like you're using the one that was dated 6th of January 2026, right?
I don't know.
Well, if you use that one, but did you use like the document I sent you with all of the combining forms? Or did you type them out yourself?
I typed them out myself. There was
Okay.
another document. I
There's a
mean, I know
document that let me just
you sent me 2 files. One of
yeah,
them, when I opened Lexergy and clicked like the insert the code thing, it like that was the right type for one of them. So I was like, bet, awesome. And I was like, this other one is like maybe some generating word thing or something that I'll figure out at some
okay.
point.
The .wli goes in inputs,
Fantastic.
and it
Fantastic.
has all of the case information.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay. So, you might have turned off show stages at some point. Anyway, so when you use it, you should be able to see the phonetic,
Mm.
and you should be able to just put the IPA from there, like right in here.
Right, and just stick that there. Okay. So yeah, so there must be something with either the version I'm using, or I'll take another look when I pull it back up and see where the phonetics are, and make sure I can pull that. Because I was like, I felt like it should have been somewhere I can copy paste, but I wasn't positive. Also, hello George, and we don't actually have Lexergy up right now, Caleb. It's just we're theorizing. We're theorizing about the theoretical Lexergy. Yeah. I couldn't also remember how we structured it when like the beginning part was completely different, because I know we had I thought we had one where the beginning was very different. Might have just been like this where we added a dash, but
So
I don't know.
Zulavo does change the beginning. So is Karis watching?
Is there a Karis present?
Oh, and in the not seeing Lexergy thing, I don't know. If you scroll, like, you probably were scrolled down when the comment was sent. But
Yeah, this is
yeah.
screenshots. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was there.
Okay, no Karis. I don't know exactly what the difference between the dots and the hyphens is, if I'm being really honest.
I feel like we clarified last time, but I can't remember what it was.
Well, I think the hyphen is if you have if you have something that just works like a prefix or a suffix, I think a hyphen is what you use. So and the dot goes basically where these changing forms start. So I think it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Although I have this feeling like putting it in there is like if we look up, like if I look up Hoover, yeah, it doesn't think that the word is in here. So
Yeah.
it means that you have to use the dictionary to look things up, because it's not got the full form of the word often doesn't appear anywhere in the document. But anyway. So but effectively that will answer your question, because rather than like in Karis's style, what you would end up doing, do we still have the example up here? Yeah, we do. So rather than calling this part of the root, I think that you instead would end up
putting this
leaving the dot on.
And doing like that?
I guess so. I think the double dot seems kind of weird, but it's fine, I guess. And I love that we get juj.
Yeah. Juj.
Okay. I don't know why some of it's in size 12 and some of it's in size 11.
I have no idea.
Okay. So Juvihuo, I guess. Juvihozi, Juvihoza, Juvihua. And then Shushijuiho, Grulajuiho, Niajuiho, Somajuiho, Ujuiho. I think that is good.
What's my grade?
A double A again.
Brilliant. Yeah, you can just nuke that.
Yeah.
I wanted to show my work.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Brilliant.
So, I did have kind of this is a bit of an afterthought.
Okay.
But these A's here are schwas. So, wait, or are they? No. In this one, the A would be, in theory, stressed. Let me... Oh, is that A... Is the A actually extra?
I mean, I think it... I don't know.
Down here, it says chushasho. Which makes me think it is the... I think the A might be... So... Which then means that, like... Basically, the... Like, you could, in theory, reduce it a little bit extra, like, randomly. So that, like, if this was feeling too long, you can say that it goes to chusho, gulasho.
I do like that. That does sound nice.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes sense that it would.
Because it's extra... It's extra stuff.
I'd be game for that.
If we're leaning into the doubling up of everything, then maybe we let's see what the rest of the table ends up looking like, and then we can carry on. Do you want to put them in Lexigy, or do you want me to?
I can do it, but I'll need a minute to pull it up because I was doing it on my laptop, not my desktop.
That's fine.
Okay, let me see what we got. Yeah, because the files are like right there. Okay. Ooh, look at us moving up in the world. And by us, I mean me. Okay, Lexergy. Lexergy 1.7.5. Does that sound right? Or should I try the new interface?
Oh, I use the new interface.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. Why does this look so weird?
Is it on day mode or light
mode?
No,
it's here. Let me switch over real quick. Remove that. Oh, I gotta. Okay. Here's what we gotta do. This one. Yeah, this is what it presently looks like. Which is this right?
Lovely. So, yeah.
Okay. So then I need to import over here. Okay.
Yeah. And
okay.
So you want to...
Whoa. Look at me doing Lexergy. We could probably make this tiny because, like, okay.
Yeah, the rules we're done with. So you want to take the protoform, which is this one here.
Which is yeah. Oh wait. Which is this one?
Yeah, the one after the asterisk.
Okay. So we have that. There's our protoform. And then we already
you want
have
to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. And then put them together because that's your reduplicated root.
Okay.
Yep. So then copy the reduplicated one. And I think the easiest thing might be for you to copy and paste. So paste that after all the numbers. So everything from Cluti down. Oh, sorry, Cluti.
So these are the numbers down here.
Not yet, but Cluti, Gruk, Nug, and Tom.
Okay. So it goes back here like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then copy all of that and then paste it like 1, 2, 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for the first set, you can just put an O after it, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then I usually copy and paste the case forms, but if you're happy typing it, you can just put those at the end of the next one. But basically, we're going to create a table.
So how does this work when the other case forms? I have to get rid of the... how does that even work? Because it's...
So the cases come at the end. So, for example, the next one is...
because it's supposed to go from, instead of like Asho, it's Azi. Oh, I need to scroll back up to the table to figure out what to add, don't I? That's where I'm confusing myself. Okay, so accusative. So the UO?
The accusative you've done. That's because it's the protoform, which is in the file that I sent you.
Okay. So then I need ZI.
Yeah.
Haha. Okay, so ZI for genitive, dative is TA. And then locative
is yat. So it may be easiest just to copy and paste it, or fastest. Because it's in the... Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yeah, I do not follow how to get that from the table. So I will need to figure that out before I can do this very self-sufficiently.
From which table?
I was looking at the case table. Because it has the -O or the -RL. Yeah. So it should be a JATH. I don't know.
Yeah.
Block confuses me.
One at the top.
Oh.
So this is actually because
Yep.
So this is the description of the form. And this...
The bottom's like the expected out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just okay. I think I follow now. I was just missing the upper bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be clearer to move this down to here. And but this isn't really true either. So because this basically is like an overview. So maybe we... I don't think there's a way that it looks nice.
Yeah.
So I just like put in brackets, like, it's
These ones are funky.
like vowel final, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then, because the thing is, like, this basically summarizes. Oh no, that's not what.
Pull that up for all y'all looking for a minute. We're just
Sorry.
moving this into a
This is,
more useful
like,
spot.
I don't think that there is like I'll just put like check form.
That's
Because
fine.
it palatalizes the consonant, so you can't predict it. Whereas these ones, I think you can in general predict if you have the protoform.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so back to J for storm. Oh no, the lexigy.
Haha. I really like the ones with what's the that's
Oh yeah,
2. The dual. Those are really funny. This one, the dual in yeah.
So I think that so the stuff that's in the table that was in that column was it must have been like this is with the unreduplicated one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to delete what was in there right now.
Okay.
And so if you go to so if you go to export, you can also like find it in a very copy and pastable form as well.
Whoa. Cool. I'm just gonna copy this whole thing. And then move us back over.
Okay.
Switchy back and forthy.
So I think like basically what I get from this is the like the reduced forms that I was suggesting don't work because like someone in the comments already said like you would end up with like chushashasho or chushashasho. Right?
Yeah.
So probably better to like copy and paste. So when you get to like forms like this, and yeah, we need the reduplicated with the case ending as well.
Which
so,
how many achachas is that?
So the kind of so this one should be ashasho, right?
Oh gosh. Hold on.
Or ashasho.
Okay. Hold on. I'm adding that in and I'll copy it over. And we'll see if I do it correctly or not.
Adding it in where?
To Lexergy? Right? Are you right?
Oh, the reduplicated form.
Yeah.
Yes, I already checked it,
Oh, well,
but I'm
we're
curious.
doing it for
at
the
the-
exercise.
So yeah,
I at least put it in there right? This looks right what I'm copying over?
yes.
Okay, brilliant. I'm at least vaguely understanding what we're doing then. Cool. Okay. We probably don't need these here, actually. Okay. So yeah.
So I think the accusative is actually the most and like the ugliest form, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
that's okay.
or no, actually, Chushashazi. I think that part of it is that like you get the sha in the chush bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the shashasho and the shashasho is like horrible.
Yeah.
Like that one, something needs to happen there, I think.
Okay.
But like these other ones are actually like not too bad.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember what word it is. What does reduplication mark for again? So reduplication was our initial, like, that's how you get plural things, the reduplication of the first syllable. But then
you wanted it to be a small plural, and then there was going to be a big plural as well.
Or vice versa. I don't remember. But yes, it was going to be one of the plural. Well, one of the non-number specific plurals. But because like we had this happen, and then all of these would have been like completely messed up, or what was it like? No, because this is fine.
They were identical with the forms of the numbers as they were on their own.
Yeah, so it was always still just soma or whatever that ends up being there, which
Soma.
was a bit of a problem.
Soma, I guess.
Soma. Yeah.
So
is that the same?
Is what the same?
Oh no, there's a T versus an H here. I was like, these look very similar, but there's like one letter difference. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think Somashasta is fine. Neyashasta's like this is fine.
Mm.
And I think this one, Chushashazi, is like a bit weird, but I think it's like what you would expect. Like, so there's kind of two routes you could go down at this point. Like, if we want to like squish this up a bit, I think the key target is this vowel here. This is reminding me that I need to like sort out some of the rules with the vowels, but I will. Well, no, we can worry about that today, I guess. This is kind of like the final refining process.
Yeah.
So at the moment, like, I think it's more confusing because of these vowel issues, but I'll like show you what's happening. So at the moment, because there was a loss of a vowel, what was previously like a secondary stressed syllable is now directly following the stressed syllable. But that's not what we really 1. So what we would expect is for the third vowel in the word to be the one with secondary stress. Now, I know from this example that this A was previously an A, like a, rather than a schwa. I don't know exactly like what will happen. I think the schwa, if we end up re-stressing a schwa, it just goes to a anyway at some point or something. Anyway. So my impression is that first of all, like the primary stress is on chu, and which means that this, in theory, should be sha. And this, in theory, should be ah. And one thing that we could do would basically be to say that if you have, it's the, I'm a bit worried because I think that it would produce a lot more. It could cause us more issues than we fix issues.
Okay.
If we don't like define it well, especially like we have, because we have this z ending. Like if we say that it's just between two fricatives, then you would end up probably like causing a lot of these places here to reduce, and then you'd kind of lose a lot of vowels. But I think that if we are careful, then what we should be able to do is to target these cases where you have two of the same. I think the sibilants in particular, although it could be all obstruents. So basically where you have like shash, or sorry, shush specifically, like where you have an obstruent and then schwa and then the same obstruent, then they could reduce down to a geminate. But to do that, I need to fix how we code the vowels, which I will get to now, I guess. So let me share my screen.
Okay.
I think it's this one. I have two Lexiges up for some reason. I think it's because I was testing it. So I'm gonna copy my inputs and then move over here. Okay. Oh, I don't have
there we go.
Hardly anything in here, but anyway. So the one that we are really looking at is this one. So I'm going to trace changes. And we're looking for the point where although really it's the point where the So we have the coronal liquid assimilation rule here, which means that the L drops out. And then the diphthongs simplify, that makes sia into sia, which then is this desyllabification here, where afterwards we need, or what we should do is put something there, I guess. Why can't I find it? So, so after this desyllabification rule, then we want to say that, so this is a stress pattern reinforcement, I guess. So a vowel with, I think we just call it stress 2, don't
we? Maybe.
Also, we're only really worried about vowels. So you can, if you put vowel in the name like this, it will only worry about that. So a vowel plus stress 2, and vowel minus stress 2. Well, I don't think that you would get that, but anyway. And then we can say we want this to be don't take secondary stress. And this one, we're going to say will take secondary stress.
Okay.
And the point that we want this to happen is when we have a vowel with primary stress immediately before it.
It's primary stress right before it. Okay.
So here we have the stress pattern reinforcement. So you can see that chushashasho is now chushashasho. So the stress has moved, but we have essentially the same form at the end, but the, what's this stress loss thing? Like, oh, it's for the Romanizer. But the vowel pattern has changed, which then means that at the very end, I mean, we may not want it to be right at the very end. So if we go back to where this shift happens, I think I keep going too far back up. Okay, so here's our new rule. So the consonants come together. So this is where we make more schwa. Oh, okay. So yeah, there's not really any space earlier. So what we want this to do is to say like it kind of feels like this thing that we want to do may really be best not done as a regular rule.
Okay.
Like now that we fixed the stress, and I'll export the rules.
Mm.
Like now that it's showing us what we are expecting, it may well be best just to say that in this specific form, like you could even call it like oh yeah, we don't have like a okay, we have a phoneme inventory. Let's like call it what do I want to call it? Allophony.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and the answer would be basically so allophonically the schwa is not pronounced between unvoiced obstruent. But the question really then ends up being like, I think that David says to like Romanize for the form people actually say.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, especially in the noveling world.
So irregular plural formation with reduplicated root. Due to allophonic devoicing of schwa and pattern due to the and patterning with the with more regular forms. Some underlying is regularly pronounced as okay. Now we can like write the contraction in, but I think that looks bad.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, I would probably leave it out. Mm-hmm.
So Grula Shasho actually doesn't meet that. Like you would end up with Grulasho, which I think is confusing with Chush.
So it'd be like, this would only apply to this first row.
Well, this is the thing, that if you say that it happens in some places, like sound changes usually are like you could basically this is the other thing you can say, right? Is that the dual forms are regularized, like based on the nominative. So
Mm-hmm.
chushasho, chushashazi, chushashasta, and chushasha. And you could also have this happen specifically with the dual, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. That's at least seems fairly like standardized isn't maybe the word I'm looking for, but like
Regular?
yeah.
Okay. Elephony, I'll just leave a note. We'll come back to this. So in cases, I think these are just notes. Yeah. So, oh no, it's the number section that needs it. So, oh, this isn't the note section. Okay. We haven't written things up
Mm-mm.
super much. So, number. So,
Yeah, I copied our little like these things over earlier today, but that's all I have in there.
so if we were not at this stage right now, I would say that we could start writing this up with like a placeholder name.
Okay.
I am half tempted, considering that we have like more than an hour, to say let's actually come up with a name
With a name.
for the language.
Oh, let's do it. Okay, I'm ready for it.
Well,
okay.
So, do you? But I guess one of the questions is: have we got the map for this one ready?
Yes. Let's go back. So this group, the Italianate daughter, not the granddaughter, is group M, which is our little pink friend over here. And so a couple relevant background details, right? All of these people and all of these different like starting groups come from the same group of people, right? They all come from well do you say is it zero still? I don't know.
Oh yeah, proto-culture.
Yeah. I don't know why. Okay. It's because
saying
Z and H is
proto-culture
different.
sounds wrong. Like because it's not a thing that happens before a real culture. We mean like if you
The
were going
original.
very Germanic, you'd be like the culture.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
The original peoples before they were split off and
Magically whisked away.
Yeah. The pre-whisked culture. But so the thing of note is we may actually first need to name the people before.
Well, I don't know. Sorry. I don't know if I have like a real sense of like time yet.
Okay. So
I'm gonna like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 6, 36 changes right now.
Yeah.
If I don't think this is like a good way to do this because I don't think this is how it works.
Okay.
In my head, I'm like, imagine that like a sound change takes like a minimum of a generation.
Yeah.
to be like solidified. I don't think this is actually how it works.
Okay.
But like I could say that there's definitely things that I say differently to my parents who say things differently to their parents.
Yes.
If we're saying that there's like 35 changes,
Mm.
and I don't know how long you think a generation will, the gap between generations will be.
I mean, isn't
But,
it typically considered to be 20 years in pre-modern
yeah.
times?
So it's like 700 years since, like minimum.
I do have a timeline, somewhat.
Well, yeah. So as George says, there's not a rate at which sound changes happen. But like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, well, based on your timeline, how long has it been? Is my question.
So the seed event, right? The event in which people are brought to Pillar World is 10,000 years.
Okay.
The times at which, so I'm imagining, and I can like spend some time if this, once this becomes relevant, but these time periods where they're hopping between major pillar clusters, so like going from P to R to S, there's going to be a time period where there are a larger migrating dragon variety that essentially people are utilizing to move these greater distances.
Mm-hmm.
And then through various reasons, those are going to go extinct, and there's going to be not that ability to easily move around.
Was it hi
So,
Nemo?
what?
Nemo's here.
Oh, hello, Nemo. So yeah, it is a huge scale linguistically. But I feel like also to an extent, like the fact that it's been 10,000 years isn't really relevant other than in like for the biological shenanigans and such things. So I'm okay if that part isn't the most like like do we have to do what seems reasonable for 10,000 years of sound changes? Not necessarily. Like I'm not super fussed about that. But there's
Well, there is the other thing is that like if we're saying that you understand that like the language that's on region M, when N separates and develops, that's all time that in theory this one is separating and developing as well.
Yeah, they would diverge upon
Yeah.
splitting in theory, which I've been assuming we'd get to that.
Yes.
Concept.
So the thing is, to do a project like that, like first of all, you would break Lexicon.
Yeah.
And yeah, as George says, sound changes can be written in vastly different ways. So some of the rules that we have, I think, have actively changed in my dialect, like for people within like a generation. Or people are actively shifting towards like, or not actively, but like there's like notable shifts in some directions, and then other ones is like this. Our very first stress rule is written as two separate rules, even though there's not a good reason why there should be two rules and not one. I mean, I know why that I've done it like this, but it's curious because it like yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too fussed about us making sure it seems like a reasonable
But
10,000 years
anyway,
of changes. So
yes,
we
but
could
I
just
guess part of the question is like at the point that we are naming this in either version, there's like very like within like because there'll be like a whole like chunk of people who gets moved, right?
In the original seeding event?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm imagining again, the specifics of this aren't relevant for anything I'm doing, so I haven't thought too much about it, but I've sort of pictured it as like, I don't know, like an Ark style event where they're like, y'all are gonna die by all this fog. Let's bring this big group of you, like, huddle in, let's go. And then they like put them a bunch of places. I don't know. Like almost like little, like, one time little portal. Like maybe they just pop up.
I guess it's like I'm trying to think about like the memory of before the event versus the
Mm,
memory after.
mm, yeah.
Because like the name of the people before um is like even if you think of like Newfoundland, well, this is what I'm like Newfoundland. I think it's Newfoundland is how they say it.
Mm,
Uh, but like what looks like Newfoundland to us, and it's
mm,
like they've already the way that the people refer to themselves is it shifts at such a rate that like for example like I know that you have British ancestry,
mm,
but there's been this big collective forgetting, and not forgetting, but like a shift in identity from
mm,
being um like people know that they are white because that's still very relevant, but they don't necessarily identify as being British or German at this point if they
right.
don't have more recent heritage. Because in the in like the cultural process, you've like gained a bunch of cultural identifiers on one
Mm,
hand and lost a bunch on the other,
yeah.
especially in the case of German Americans, like the language, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
um,
think there's a bunch of ways we could go about it. Like we could assume that their connection to the old identity is lost entirely, which I think would be really reasonable. We could say that like maybe the way these seeding portals worked is that were pulled from certain regions, like maybe they were in different places around this polity of some form, and so there tends to be differences, and maybe those smaller groups had their own community identities, and maybe they then carried forward that kind of identity. Like we could probably argue that if we felt like it. Like I feel like we could do something different for all of these and do something random and like I don't
so
know.
when you say zero C European, I feel like that includes like like people in like the Baltics
Mm,
and the Sami people and like Rome and Jamaica.
yeah, basically. Yeah. Very vague. Intentionally vague. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like they're an island people. I don't imagine them being overly like imperial. And I imagine them being like, I don't know, fairly centralized, having um like Iron Age type, like getting into like they probably have steel, maybe, that
Mhm.
sort of vagaries. I don't know. Oh, weird flickering. Is that flickering on is my camera flickering?
I don't know exactly what it's gonna be, whether it's like oh, I haven't even got my light turned on.
Yeah.
Let there
Yeah.
be light.
Yeah.
Um, Oh, like not everyone. Like most people in it's not even most Romans were not literate. Like it would only have been the people from a certain social standing. Actually, no, there were enough people who graffitied who I think we know were lower class. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they don't all have to be illiterate either, but like as a culture, there was writing. There would be things that were written. They would have, while they probably, I don't know, like there would be things brought forward from the before times, because they're bringing some livestock and
mhm.
agricultural things and stuff. So they'd probably bring some books and.
Yeah. Um, and Tinglish, let us know if it keeps flickering, but I I don't know. Like I suspect it may be my internet connection rather than anything else.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I just saw something happen,
Mm.
but I don't know what.
I've seen it a couple times. I don't know what it is, but unless it causes more problems, we can just
Okay. Yeah. Let's
Um,
pretend it's not happening.
mhm. I feel like it would
Um,
be very helpful for our purposes if I were to have an idea of what the look of the pillars were in cluster region M, or if I
yeah.
had some sort of idea of the eventual societal anything or cultural anything. However, I know none of those things. So
Okay.
we
Yeah.
could
That's what I kind of meant when I was like, do you know where?
no, no, I
Okay.
know none
So
of that.
beyond
Like,
M, we don't know.
I feel like we should go with something like, because if I have to change it down the road, I can. But I feel like it could be cool to just like name it based off something that would definitely be present, that would be weird. Like something about like,
I mean, certainly without defining anything, you could just name a town.
that's true. We could just come up
Like,
with a name and decide what it means later.
no, we can't decide what it means later because this is the bit with the meaning.
Oh, okay. Well, then wait, what do you mean? You could just name a town.
We
Like
can
they just show up and they name themselves?
okay,
Like,
like because the so I feel like this is where it's like from a linguist perspective, especially like when you do stuff with the Andes, basically one of the very few historical things we have are the names of places.
mm,
And so, yes, like a lot of them are about things that are in the natural environment, but then a bunch of them are also just kind of like, I keep seeing the flashing and I don't know why. Anyway,
it's a very, very slow strobe light because we're partying.
mm, yeah. Um, like, so I'm coming at it from like, oh, there are a bunch of places with etymologies that like if we think that there's probably a body of fresh water and there probably is going to be like some kind of defense system, then
Mhm.
you can just be like, oh, it's lake fort or river tower or
Yeah.
like that kind of compound with things that are not too specific. Whereas if you're like, oh, it's the northern, I don't know, because the M region, when you look at the map, also it's very like it's not the biggest, but it still goes from like the equator,
Mm.
like to relatively far up within the habitable zone.
Yeah, like up to like 22 degrees north.
Um, and so I feel like within like unless you go away and decide this one region is where everything will be, but no, nothing can be lower than the level of the fog, right?
Yes, correct.
So
Correct.
you have also got like quite a specific range of altitudes to
Yes.
work within.
Yes. There's a small set.
So, like, I guess I will also ask you, like, if you were gonna go about naming, like, um, let's make some notes somewhere about this. So, um, culture. So, um, this is a so group was one of the original um, like arc groups or
Yeah. Seed groups, arc groups. Yeah.
original seed groups from the old world. So we don't have clear information about the location. So this is another thing where basically like a language is very, like, as we know from our conversations, we speak the same language, but it varies between us in quite significant chunks. So when we're describing this language, we're probably describing it as um, spoken by like a specific group in a specific time in a specific place, and like for like humans, like for us, after the invention of things like the printing press, it became really important to have like standard ways of doing this. And people start to identify with these more standard forms of the language, so that like if you're French and you're of French birth, then you learn French because it's the language of France and you are a French citizen. Um, but until relatively recently, there were lots of language varieties in France that were related to the French that they spoke in Paris, but weren't the same.
Okay.
And so the way that I want you to think about this is you can, like, I know that especially is if you're not like super confident and you're not, your goal isn't to like conlang this universe into being, right? I appreciate this is more about names and stuff than like
Yeah, and like
we are volcanic.
there will be cultural things, right, about some of them, but the idea was to have at least the framework of these figured out so that when I want to put something somewhere, I can be like, "Ah, yes." And like we can add some general cultural notes if we want to some of these, because I'm okay, like if I'm like, "Oh, I have this new Pillow World story. Which language do I think fits this rough idea that I have the best?" And then continue working with that, right? So like this isn't to saying all of these like languages need to be completely without any cultural notes, but yeah.
Mhm. So it's like for me, I'm thinking like one thing that could be useful then is to say that whatever language we're focusing on for this region, it
Mhm.
is the language that is used by the people who are making whatever map that you are working on at the point in time.
Mhm.
Because, or whatever the local map would be. Because if you have like two of these islands that are like not connected to each other, and there's not that much, like especially once the very large dragons go, it'll be really hard to move between these, right?
Well,
And so people
not in
will.
short distances. They'll still have like the rideable dragons that are like, so like certain distances are coverable, and you could consider it the equivalent of like a long sea voyage or like a moderate sea voyage, but anything like past like what they could journey on those smaller dragons, like what their like territorial like traveling reach is, would be unreachable.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm thinking about is you have a kind of there's like a two-way era in how we think about like movement in like pre-modern times. So like you got, on the one hand, you have people who imagine people moving, like traveling much further regularly, like we do now, on a very regular basis, which isn't true. But then on the other hand, it's not that people stayed their entire lives in their village and never went anywhere else. Like, actually, people still could like people went on pilgrimages, not regularly, but like we have plenty of records of people making kind of relatively longer journeys, and then going home. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like the scale of the areas is big enough that I would be surprised if people at different ends didn't have problems understanding each other. But we can say for our purposes that this is like the, you don't have to make it the standard language, I guess. Like, but that's basically what we're describing, is a standardized version of whatever this is.
Right. Yeah, and it's hard because to the extent of what these little regions symbolize is like in the modern day, right? People are reasonably able to journey throughout it, whether or not like individuals would be, because it would probably be like you said, there'd be plenty of people who mostly stay on the same pillar for their whole lives, but there would be people that would travel between them, and depending on like what their role is and like what their job is, like they might be more likely to travel more, but there would be a decent bit of like cultural assimilation within it to some extent, depending on the size. Because like the thing you'll notice with like sea, for example, right? The map I have fits a very small area of sea. And like there might be a couple little like smaller outposts, but like that's kind of like the main area where people are like centered. And then there might be like a few clusters of pillars here or there, like smaller one-off ones where like people could survive there, but you're not going to expect to see like, you know, there being enough ground for a large society. So like the most of the people will probably be in a pretty small area. So we can probably work under the assumption that we're working with whatever the more populated group is within that region that would then be making the maps. And if I get in there and decide there's other groups, then I can always deal with like, you know, tiered naming of things. And, you know, who knows if that would be relevant for the, you know, individual areas when I end up writing it. But we can make that assumption for simplicity now and then complicate it later.
Okay. So it's basically to say that like in terms of like naming, So like I'm like very quickly trying to think about every language name I can think of and where it comes from, which is probably the wrong way to do it live. So like you can like name it after a place. You can name it after the people. But as you say, like if you imagine that like it's English people who are being taken on this journey, right? We end up like in all these places and we all keep calling ourselves English. We're like English, English, English. And then every language is just named however English ends up being in the final language. I'm kind of tempted to see like if I put like it would be something like INGLI, and we have like a proto-S, I think.
English, English, English. We have
It would end up as like English.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have what I presume is a David.
Well, Jesse basically never comments. Or if Jesse does like fulfill the requirements to describe it as commenting, it's via David. So I assume so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, a place or a people. I imagine the least online live streamer.
I'm trying to like go and then, but people, you can be like, it's the ethnic group, but also like, I think of like Mandarin. Mandarin's probably is because it's an exonym. But like, it's like, obviously like, it's like a class of people. But for example, if you wanted a name for this language from like a very rural place, you could describe it as like the language of the city or of the cartographers or of I mean cartographers are probably not well known enough for their language to make it be called that, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And then like Hindi's named after a place. I don't know what Urdu is named after, but anyway.
I like the idea of having it either be named after whatever like district they're from the original island, or have it just be named
from the original island.
Yeah.
Like from before.
Yeah, the sea people. There's the old world island, you know? No, cardinal directions other than north and south or from like they would be basically based off the center of the district or the center of the cluster / whoever's like making maps. But yeah, the sun will rise normally, all that. Well, I guess that would be like general directions, but like from where the maps would be centered would be random. But it sort of matters. It sort of matters.
I need to fix this flickering before like next stream because my next stream is tomorrow. Like it's very much like getting to me now.
Like, it's definitely getting to be more frequent, I think, slightly.
More frequent. Okay. I'm gonna like I'll see you in a sec.
Okay. But yeah, we could do like a district thing, or we could do like the people come to the pillar are going through some sort of dark age and like they come out of it and you know, they name themselves as part of that rebirth. Like, I feel like that's a common trend that we could see here. Yes, the people were just plopped down on the pillars by a goddess, essentially. If there's a migration on the planet, that can affect. So the migrate, yeah. So okay, so if we are naming this language right now, knowing that like technically it changes more, like this form of this language right now, this would be pre-migrations around Pillar World, right? Like, so everyone's in a different world on a little island. They're all about to die from the fog. David. And then a goddess is like, yo, I have this other planet that I already figured out this great fog saving method for. The pillars, I'll take y'all there. Opens up some number of portal-esque things, and different groups of the people go through them and from this one island and plop down on these different places, right? And then after a period of time, which would be after the point in the language we're working with right now, because it hasn't diverged yet, then they would have figured out how to work on these migrating giant dragons and split their populations up a little bit more and have some migrations. Could they have taken the name of the deity as the name for their culture? They could have. We can definitely have some of them do that, right? They could like name themselves as the followers of so and so, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Could be an option.
Well, it makes sense ethnically. It's that, and obviously I think that you can more easily justify this by saying that the people who end up learning how to use the long distance dragons will probably have to have a fair amount of like power and culture to be able to be. Fair amount of culture is the wrong way to say it. I mean, they're going to be like relatively higher status. And yeah, like there's lots of good ideas, and just it's like the like, and languages also will have lots of names. like
Yeah.
I will always say this.
But we are simplifying for right now.
like for right now, like if you want to go with one of these things, then like let's just go for that one. But then also I'm just kind of like, if you in terms of like reference points, like languages are so like they tend to be tied to like places and like I don't know, like obviously you still call it we still call it like English and Spanish and all of these things, but like the power of the original place never went away. Whereas you have a whole load of people who are from one place, and then there is no way for them to go back.
Right.
And so if these, like, I think the deity name thing kind of makes sense because it's the sort of thing that would be transmissed. And if you're saying that they have writing at the very beginning, then yeah, it would also make sense that like they have this very strong written culture going back as well. I guess it's also like they could name the island like New and then whatever their old district was.
Yeah.
But it would be like if you said like we're gonna come up with like a fantasy name for a bunch of people from New England and they speak New English, and that's
yeah.
I think like part of it is like I want to like encourage you to like bring your ideas to the table, but I'm also like there's a whole bunch of specific ideas that like I I think are interesting and creative, but I just want to like get something that's like concrete down.
Yeah.
So
Let's
that
do like
like it's X and not Y rather than
mm,
like because if they all end up I mean they probably all have different relationships to the event, right?
mm, mm,
They'll have been saved, but they're not all gonna end up in like places that are easy for them to survive.
mm.
Um,
Why don't okay, okay. Just to like pick something very specific,
mhm,
why don't we have their name of their people essentially be the people above the fog?
mhm.
Because that would be a big part of that migration of they were kind of being subsumed by it and then were brought up above it, and the only reason they're living is that. So we could say these people, for now at least, are called the people that live above the fog, and their language can be the language of the people above the fog or something like that, just to
Well,
have something to go with.
I'll say very quickly that like this is the sort of thing where it will end up being a contraction either of people above the fog or just above the fog.
Mm.
Now we have a word for fog already in the proto language,
Yes.
and it's the fog is the same in the old world and the new one, right?
Yes. This is a
Oh, it's our old friend Atch.
oh yeah, the fog is called the Deathbringer. Yeah, so they're people above the. Well, this is specifically the killing fog. This isn't necessarily the word for normal fog, but I guess this would be the people above the killing fog specifically. So I feel like we
Mhm.
can go with this. The Mile High Club. Well, they're not all a mile high, I think, as I try to remember how many kilometers are in a mile. There's like something about 3, right? Kilometers in a mile? 3 something?
Um, I know that like about 5 miles is about 8 kilometers, so I think that
No.
checks out.
But something about there. So yeah. Okay, so we can pull this over.
I've I've
Heavens,
got like the first bit done.
okay, you got that already. Okay, cool. So
So
then we would just need to know how to say like above. Oh, not too far off from Mixtech? Cloud people? Yeah, honestly.
mm,
So why did I pick something that has like more grammar in it?
the grammar's cooling to you.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is.
So this is going to be mm, well, hopefully, well, but actually, it may well be easier to pick something that ends with something more like do. Like the hubo probably is closer.
Oh,
So I'll copy that up here as well.
okay.
Um,
Um, I don't know,
so
Tinglish. That's a good question. Um,
mhm,
I don't know.
I
Maybe.
was right. This is matching up.
Oh, I like that. Also, George, that's a good idea. Let me write that down real quick. And the
Oh,
pillars were just risen up, but they wouldn't have known that because that was hundreds of millions of years before they arrived on this planet. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here we go. Brown people. Okay. Yeah, coming
So
from.
do you want it to be cloud people?
I mean, if that's easier, but I feel like above the killing cloud, I don't know. It has a poetic ring to it, an inspirational look at us not being eaten by killing.
Ignore that. Okay.
I suppose I'll be in charge. I mean, honestly, maybe one day they'll come down from their pillars and find that if they go through the clouds, the killing fog, there are people down there, the grounders, and that's where you come in, David. Let me know when you're done. I love the 100. Wow.
And then I got that wrong. It's not achdo. It would be achachdo, which means that we get the whole. Will be ashazdo.
Okay.
There, done.
Look at that. So quick, so easy on the eyes, but I'm going to take down lyrics. It's fine. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So we have the killing fog, and now we need to say above the killing fog.
Yeah. So this is.
Ooh. Do we need the book?
So okay, we have decided on something very similar. So on top of the mountain will be of the mountain on the peak.
Ooh, look at us. Okay. Okay.
It means that above. So you'd have to like. So we want the genitive of this killing fog.
Yeah. Killing fog genitive. Okay. Okay.
Which would be as dozy.
Yeah. Dozy.
As dozy. Right. The O is unstressed.
As dozy. Okay. And then
above. So we want like a noun that then means above. Or
is this what we need? No.
What were you showing me? Oh, just
the World Lexicon of Grammaticalization.
No,
is that
no,
what you're looking for?
Above is not necessarily a like it may have like a. Is that a no? Superessive is on. Like I don't think that it will have above. We can like very quickly check, but no, there is not above in here. Like so quite often what if I'm struggling to think about something, and the other thing is that you could, so above in English is a preposition which doesn't help us. Oh, so as a noun it does mean you can use it to mean heaven.
Okay.
Which means that like you could in theory reverse engineer it. Like, and you basically use something that is prototypically above, like heaven or sky. Do you have a word for sky?
I feel like we probably at least have it in the list, whether or not we've actually made the word for it yet. We do. Gere is sky.
Okay. So like get it.
Get it?
So
Yeah.
let's work out how that comes out.
Look at us, basically already having everything we need to do this. Wow. We're so comprehensive in our lexicon of like 12 words.
Well, I think that I got you to make some like it'll be gegere. Yeah.
I love that word. It's so cool.
Well, that would be like heavens.
Mm.
Which, to be honest, wouldn't be an unreasonable distinction for them to change to.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check. Yeah, it comes out starting with G still.
Mm-hmm.
G.
Make sure this is locked. I can hear my daughter out there. If you hear someone singing K-pop, it's the 4-year-old.
So, do we have anything similar in here? No.
As Dosigra? Oh, let's find out. Let's find out.
So, get it? Oh no. Okay. So, I probably want to put a dot.
Get it? Ooh.
Geryo.
Well, get it. The E is always there. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Wow, I have eyeballs that can look at the right thing. Yeah.
Gerezi, Gereda, and Gerya.
Yeah.
And then choose
so just the RE.
Oh.
So we get one letter, right?
This isn't how these things should work, but it's fine.
I thought I was so clever having these two pieces be on opposite ends so that they wouldn't muck with each other. But now, see, I'm learning something.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's easier if the things that are mucking around are always changing rather than mucking around with the entire stem of the thing that's staying.
Now I know.
Okay. So.
Apparently we're wrong. And ooh, how would you say that as an with log? Log does have sources for up listed as back, face, head, shoulder, sky, top. Well, we're using sky.
Yeah.
We're doing great.
But I think that you could also use that, I guess, more generally, I guess. Like, because you have I don't know, like a bunch of like I don't know. I'm gonna like double check how we get to this chusire because it doesn't look like. Oh, I think it's because the G in that position reduce like it's specifically because the it has a G in it.
Oh.
So it goes like tlutigere, tlutigere, tlutligere, tlutigere, tlutire, tlutigere, chusire, 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 chusire. Chusire, chusire. So yeah. Yeah, if things stayed longer, you would see its surface as like a Y, but we don't keep that vowel around long enough.
Right.
So yeah. Chusire.
I do, yeah. Chusire.
And to be fair, the R is fairly thematic throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where am I going? Okay, so chusi, grul, nagere, ongere. Also, I hope you realize that having a language with MG in the like this is something that we can play with in going forward because it's very funny to me that we have it at all.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like,
There's time.
There's time to get rid of it. Okay. I think that covers. Oh no, the gegere that comes out as gire.
So then, and we're looking for the locative, which is the last one, which is Geria.
Yeah.
Geria? Okay.
So, as dozi geria, and then do we have a word for people? Well, person or people. But anyway, if you wanted it to just be above the fog, it would be as dozi geria.
I feel like we don't need to make it longer than that.
And I can tell you that like I don't know how. The thing is, I don't think it wouldn't reduce super early. I know that like if the G was like allowed to reduce, you'd end up with like as do no. I don't think there's a way to make it happen. But yeah, as dozigeria.
I dig it. But wait. Don't we have to like capitalize it?
Well, at the moment that's just like a phrase, but I think it would be fine.
Cool.
So yeah, as dozigeria.
I like it.
I feel like it doesn't sound as Italian as we were aiming.
Maybe we'll make the what we'll do is we'll have the two derivatives, right? And I know we have one idea for one of the granddaughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just try to make the other one slightly more Italian sounding, or we
But
just it's
no,
fine.
it sounds really Italianish. It's just these specific words, like as as dozi, as as dosigeria.
Uh,
Like I think yeah, like this we can simplify. Um, I don't know what's wrong about this to me. I think it's partly that like I don't think so Italian doesn't have a dedicated letter for Z, like
mhm,
the sound. They tend to use a S for a plain Z, because the
mm,
thing that they write with the Z is one of the two affricates, either uh, the two affricates, as if there aren't others. So it's either T or Z.
yeah. Okay. And there's some
Um,
thoughts in the chat about it. Um, oh, David, can you confirm? Does this sound High Valyrian? The Z and the yeah. Could it be syncoped? I don't know how that word is pronounced. I know syncopated,
I
which
don't.
I think.
So I know syncope. What I would probably say is syncope. I
Yeah.
yeah. Keris is coming through. Yeah, it would be syncopated.
Okay. I know that word. How to say it.
So yeah, like is so I'm getting echo with my voice as well now.
Oh, I don't hear it. I don't know if they do.
Anyway. Let me see. So yeah, like I think people are asking for this to be reduced a bit further, which I
Yeah.
think would make sense.
Mhm.
Now, one thing that we can do is
Mm.
we
That was
can put
syncopated.
the forms together.
Uh-huh.
So now I have to like, it was like ach do, and then z. So actually, I don't want. So these are all of the stages that the name goes through. And you could basically change it so that the you basically like you could make a old name without adding sound changes necessarily by just shoving the words together at an earlier stage of the language. What's the difficult bit to process, or is it just seeing the long list of forms that's just going like
A little bit of that, and a little bit like it all is kind of similar. I don't really know what difference it would make. I don't know. I mean, they're
Okay,
all kind of the same-ish.
I think the very critical thing would
Mhm.
be um, the um, the voice plosive spirantization, um, which I don't know where this would come.
And this is for going a route that's is this for like pre-reduction? Like we figure out when it would have been reduced? Is that what we're doing?
this is basically saying, I mean, part of me wants to just be like, Karis kind of knows what, like, people know what they're doing. You can reduce these things.
Okay.
Like, kind of, I don't know what I'm saying.
Like intuitively, or?
Yeah, or based on patterns that are widely observable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna I'm gonna see what happens if I just shove it all together.
And put
So
it through?
if you just shove everything together,
Interesting.
which is like from the very beginning, it comes out as dosiria.
Interesting. Let me type this out. That's almost what George said, but like switching a bunch of the letters. Oh no, it's nothing like that. Asdozeria. I mean, that is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Asdozeria. I do like it.
Well, should we just go with dosiria then?
Let's do it. And then we can remove this. Boom. Boom. I do like that. Wow. Look at us go.
Okay. So now renaming Asdosiria M.
Ooh. George asks, is this the people or the language or both? And also, George can never spell language the first time despite having a PhD.
Well, basically, because this doesn't include the section or whatever that would refer to the person or language, it because it just means like over the killing fog. Then I think it could be either. Although no, it's fine. Let's just not think too hard.
We've got it. It's
this
too perfect.
This is how I end up spending like days just like ruminating on one word. Just like,
no, I like
they really do this? Did they really?
Yeah. Oh, it's good though. Okay. We've done so, and we've added so many words. Oh, I should probably remove all of this now, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Over the killing fog, now in paper. You know, it does kind of vibe with some of my other book title names, you know? If I was going for a theme. The 4-word, like, over the killing fog. I do like that. Okay. Look at us go. All right. So the new Lexergy thing that you sent me is one that I can continue using to try to make some more of these.
Well, remember, I just downloaded a new Lexergy with the stress fix. So I will send you the newest Lexergy. This is what happens with Lexergy also. Right. As well as we need a new rule, there's also we need a new version.
Okay. But like the newest one, it is at a state where I'm good to make some more that we can review next time.
Yeah, and if you run into issues, that's not a problem. It just means that we have content for the future streams.
Yeah. And then is there a file somewhere or something for what you were using to generate words to look at for the proto.
I sent you a link before.
Yeah. I know I had it at some point. I don't know if that's still...
It will still work, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll just scroll back and find that.
And I have named this as Dosiria.
Sweet. Oh, look at that.
Oh, no, Karis is saying very, very real things that would be very useful to people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I want to like check what's coming out of this. I think I want to share it as this.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh, here we go. I have a link. I just need to plop it in the doc somewhere.
Okay.
Oh. So.
Because it's for the proto specifically, right?
Oh yeah. I'll put it in the proto language section.
Okay.
Okay. Well, where is a good place to put this?
Maybe like the top of the words list, somewhere in that area, somewhere where the word alpaca is. Before seed event, alpaca, post seed event. That's what I'm getting out of whatever this... I don't know what this means.
Okay. So.
Okay. But yeah, so we'll have next week. I assume we're just going to be continuing doing
there we
this.
Go.
Root generator. Yay! Oh, Tinguish is making us a theme song. I like it. For the rewatch, because no one will have the chat because there's no button. Ugh. Yeah. But yeah, so we're carrying forth with next time with this, the same things, I presume. At some point, are we... Okay, well, actually, quick question. Once we finish with this bit, are we going to do derivatives or do a different one?
I'll think a little bit more. I think that basically for me, like my preference would be to say, like, I don't know, because part of me is like, how much, like, there's a bit that's like, well, we've done the Korean inspired one, I've kind of done all the things that I've promised to you.
Yes.
And I'm like, do I want to like kind of get us to that point and then be like, here you go, you are free, you're Conlanging now.
Well, I feel like, so talking from a like as a student perspective, right? Like, I feel like this one thus far for me has sort of just been like a wild ride where you're like galloping and I'm just kind of like holding on for dear life, like, oh dear God, I don't even know where we're going. Like, right? That's kind of what's happening right now. When we see the next one, like, if I had to guess, like maybe the next one we do, like whether that be a derivative or whether that be like the Korean-esque one or something, like maybe I'm following what we're doing and I'm like, okay, I know what we're doing. And like, I don't know at what point like I can do it on my own. You know what I mean? Because I feel like right now I'm like, oh.
This is part of the funny thing with the process is that I think it may actually be hardest to follow. Like, I did have an idea, which was basically rather than like, part of what's making it a little bit difficult is that you've got ideas of how you want of like potential languages that you're interested in having,
Mm-hmm.
and um, and I have ideas of how to make you that. And
Right.
so I'm kind of like taking these forms and like pushing them into this box that's
Right.
like, here, this is the thing that you want.
Right.
But it's hard to like try and like make it teachable moments
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with like um because I already know where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
if you're like, well, what if we do this? And part of me inside's just like, no, we're not doing this because it's not going to get us there.
Well, that's actually I think really great because then so like while we've done this Italianate one and definitely when we do the Korean-esque one where I mean I listen to Korean a lot, but my actual understanding of the language is even more minimal than
So,
Italian.
what
Um
my like, if I don't know what we're going to do next week.
okay.
And I also know that we're going to have like a big chunk where I probably won't be here, but
Mm,
my trip to India is more up in the air again.
mm,
So I'm like not sure what my February is going to look like right
okay.
now. But it could go one way, it could go a very different way.
Mm,
Um, but like, I think that like certainly I'm very happy to help you on the very beginning bit, but I
mm,
want to like take these forms and hugely reduce the differences for you,
mhm. Yeah.
and and then kind of just let you try and figure some stuff out based on
Okay.
Jesse's book,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And kind of like, because Jesse's book is designed to be like a teaching material.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and so I feel like you could kind of like, if we each read a chapter together
Yeah.
and like kind of um, go through some of the process together,
Mhm.
where I'll try and stick to the principles that Jesse's talking about,
Mm,
and you can kind of work with something that I might even write up the first rules by myself and then explain what I've done to
mm.
you for you.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Explain what I've done to the language, just so that like, because if I said like I want you to make something with um, consonant vowel syllables
Mm.
and no codas, and like there's only a voicing distinction in obstruents, and you'd probably be like, I don't know half the words, or I don't know how to do it.
There would be a lot of Googling involved. I'd
Yeah,
have to start a little research project on figuring out how to do it essentially.
but I think that I could probably get you to a stage
Mm,
where, like, I think that you should try making an isolating language,
mhm,
and I think that would help you with like your basic principles more than anything.
mm. Okay.
Um, but it would be like a very like this stream would change up a lot. But I think it could be good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm very game for that too. And in addition to that, the other thing I'm looking at with the Korean one, the Korean-esque A, it also has a lot of derivatives and stuff. So like it kind of like where M and N, like you kind of have to do a lot up front to get like to the changes. Like there's enough rounds to do it that it's like there's a lot of little like bite-sized, like you wouldn't have to do quite as many per, I guess, generation because there's more of them potentially too, which could help with that sort of format as well.
Hmm. like I'd say, oh, I don't know. You have your diagram, but you can always just be like, well, there were two groups, but probably not like original groups, but like just be like, well, these people had a very divergent linguistic thing because, like, the thing I'll always go back to is like highlands versus lowlands tends to stratify very strongly. Um, so one of my like we're way past time, but anyway, I'm not in a rush. Um, like I had an idea for like a a kind of con world where there were like these islands that were in a river, and each island had kind of different craftsmen or crafting people who would like uh, kind of you have a different thing on each island, and they would like they were going to have different languages. And then I looked at like the real life area that was inspiring it, and everyone there speaks Lao, because if you have a navigable river, then it really encourages like these single, or not necessarily like they're not necessarily monolingual, but they tend to have very strong like presence or like trade language, whereas highlands tend to be more split up, at least in kind of the Southeast Asia region especially. But yeah, that's kind of where my head is at, is what I will say.
Yeah.
So we have a name.
We do. We do have a name, and we have some more words, and we fixed some problems, and yeah, I think we did good. So then, yeah, so we're back here next Monday. Tomorrow is Let's Have a Booba, and then Thursday, Laying Time Studio, Saturday, Conlangery, and then I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
On Sunday, Will does
oh yeah.
I want to say No Other Land, but that's the Palestine documentary. It's
the Dove stuff? Dove?
Yeah. Lands Unknown.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, Lands Unknown on that's I think they're going through climate stuff right now. I'm not sure. I think it's climate stuff. And then yeah, I think that's kind of all the things. Yeah.
Lands Unknown with the genitive S looks like it's the was Unknown just called Unknown in Pokemon? Anyway, like of someone called Land. Anyway. I really want to make the Korean one tonal, Maddie, which is also why I'm delaying it, because I know you'll freak out.
I am not afraid. I am not afraid. Honestly, my IPA class time tones thing has probably very unjustly led me to feel very comfortable with the idea, because I'm like, oh, they all make sense. Those little IPA, I get it. I honestly, I will probably like regret it.
We spent a really long time on just like a very small number of symbols compared to when Will was teaching you consonants and you like
it was comforting.
Symbols.
I was like, this is great. I'm here for it.
Anyway, let's let people go.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna go. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you all next week and in various other places online later this week.
Some people tomorrow, hopefully.
Yes. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Oh my God.